Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, for allowing me to do another lesson. Yahweh means He is, and Yahweh Shai means He is the Savior. Alright? Yahweh Shai is who the word normally calls Salaki. Yahweh is who the word normally calls God, and Yahweh Shai is who the word normally calls Jesus Christ. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And today's lesson is going to go into Amy WineHouse. And hey, to be honest, I should have did this lesson a while back, but the Spirit has me doing it now. And based off of something, while I was watching the Apostles live stream they did this past Saturday, going into, let me see if I can find it, because they was talking to this Israeli couple. I mean, no, I think it was just two men. And he was saying how they could possibly be Israelites. This one entitled June 6, Apostles of Great Millstone Street Teaching, June 6, 2020. And he, they would ask him, they were conversing back and forth, And the apostles, a lot of people may push off that, hey, we this, we that, we bullies, this, that, and the third. But they were just being cordial with the men, just talking to him. He was saying, hey, you may very well be an Israelite. You may very well go back to the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, in so many words. And it led me to think of Amy Winehouse, which she's, in my opinion, she's an Israelite. She's a Jake. And why she's so important, because her parents were of Jewish origin, or Israeli origin. All right, so Amy Winehouse, it says, was an English singer and songwriter. She was known for her deep, expressive contralto vocals and her eclectic mix of musical genres, including soul, rhythm, and blues and jazz. Now, when you go into her genres of music, all right, again, soul, blue-eyed soul, neo soul, rhythm and blues, and jazz. And when you look into what is a blue-eyed soul, it says blue-eyed soul, also known as white soul, is rhythm and blues and soul music performed by white artists. The term was coined in the mid 19th century, it's like in the mid 1960s, to describe white artists who performed soul and R&B that was similar to the music of the Motown and Starks record labels. All right. So in short, it was white musicians who sung like so-called black musicians. All right, so-called white musicians who sung like so-called black musicians. In other words, these were Israelite foreigners who had the skin complexion of another nation. All right, and this is biblical. In the Bible, the Lord said, because we didn't serve Him, He would scatter us throughout all four corners of the earth. As a matter of fact, let me see. Deuteronomy 28. And I can't remember what verse it is. See, well, this is another good one. Isaiah 11. Salaki. Isaiah 11 and 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that Yahweh, or that the Lord, shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt, and from Pathros and from Cush, and from Elam and from Shinar, and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So now when you look at certain of these lands, well, really all of these lands, they are of what? Showing you that our people were still, that you're going to have people that when the Lord comes back is going to be living in the land of Elam or over there in Persia and Assyria and Egypt and Cush. All right. That's why you have Jakes over there, or the so-called blacks who still live in West Africa to this very day. West Africa, South Africa, North Africa. All right. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. Okay? So we will be dispersed throughout all four corners of the earth, including our homeland Israel. You know, some of our people would still be there, because you got to remember, as we were scattered throughout all four corners of the earth, you know, you may be, like, say you may be in the Philippines, all right, because your slave master at the time was doing business with somebody in the Philippines, you know, and they wanted some slaves over there, you know, so that's how you ended up in the Philippines, and so on and so forth, you know. But nonetheless, a blue-eyed soul singer is a so-called white person, all right, that is or so-called white Salakia. A blue-eyed soul singer is a so-called white person with the spirit of a black person. All right. So reading down, I want to jump now. I want to Slacky. I want to jump down to the portion of this article where it speaks about her early life. So it says Amy Winehouse was born in Chase Farm Hospital in North London to Jewish parents. Her father, Mitch Winehouse, was a window panel installer and then a taxi driver, and her mother, Janice Winehouse, was a pharmacist. Winehouse Winehouse's ancestors were Russian, Jewish, and Polish Jewish immigrants to London. Amy had an older brother, Alex, and the family lived in London's Southgate area, where she attended Osid Primary School. Winehouse, as a child, attended a Jewish Sunday school. Blah, blah, blah. Jumping down to it says, jumping down to the second paragraph, many of Winehouse's maternal uncles were professional jazz musicians. Amy's paternal grandmother, Cynthia, was a singer. She and Amy's parents influenced Amy's interest in jazz. Her father, Mitch, often sang Frank Sinatra songs to her, and whenever she got chastised at school, she would sing Fly Me to the Moon before going up to the headmistress. So as we see, you know, music was in her background, you know, and why is music, you know, how can you say, well, you may say, well, certain white people, they sing well, you know, but you gotta understand, music is a part of Jake's heritage, is a part of you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans' heritage. All right, this is why you dance so well. This is why you sing so well, because it's innate within you. As a matter of fact, for the name Judah, it means Yahweh's praise, and you have a lot of so-called blacks. All right, which Judah are you so-called blacks? Let me pull up the 12 tribe chart. Judah is so-called blacks. All right, and you would sing to the Lord. All the tribes would sing to the Lord, which during holy days, during sacrifices, you know, and so like let me just get this chart. That was the thing that we did in the ancient world. Which our people carry the same sentiment, not in truth, of course, as it says in Romans 10. But nonetheless, even when you go into a black church, which sometimes it's a mix, black or Hispanic, they do a lot of singing in there, you know. So Judah, as I said, the so-called Negroes, all right, and even when you go in a lot of these other churches, man, Gad, Manasseh, the so-called Cubans, you'll hear a lot of singing, and singing is a big part of these tribes' culture today, just as it was back in the ancient world. You know, the Dominicans, they got the merengue. The Colombians, they got the salsa. You know, Issachar got the cumbia. Benjamin, they got the patois. I mean, not the not the patois. The what do you call that? Dance hall. So our people are very lively. When you go into the book of Exodus, it also speaks of how lively our people are. You know, but another point I wanted to bring out before I forget is in Amos 5:18, just proving a point of how singing, how people they weren't just people who sung, they were people who sung very, very well. All right, this is Amos chapter, bear with me, 5 verse 21. It says, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them. Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy vows, but let judgment run down as waters and righteousness as a mighty stream. Because our people sung so well, you know, that, hey, our people sung so well. It's like I'm trying to put my words together, you know, that it appeased the Lord, you know. Our people's music appeased the Lord at one time. But now, since they've been going off so much, the Lord is not hearing these songs anymore. They're known as hypocrites. Nonetheless, the point still stands, which shows you that at one point our people just their voice, just their crying to the Lord, you know, in which, hey, even when you look at it today, like you have young kids with just loud ass voices and stuff like that, you know, that's just shows you how lively our people are, you know. But yeah, Amy Winehouse is a Israelite. Through the spirit, she's an Israelite. When you go into her music, which Wikipedia, they even show you, which brothers, I'm not gonna play any music, but brothers could, check it out in our own time. And really all, you got this guy named Michael McDonald, the brother Kalab Kim, he's a he knows about, the old school music. But it's funny how when you hear a lot of these Jakes speak, you know, like a lot of times I could just say growing up, listening to these Michael McDonald, all of these blue eyed soul singers on the radio without seeing their face, I always thought they were so called black men, or black women, was it Tina Marie? I couldn't tell the difference. But it's the spirit, which, is normally to where when you sing, your spirit is behind it, and hey, our people got lively spirits, and you hear it through their music, through the way they dance, through the way they just interact with each other. Hey man, so with that, just some quick in the spirit. Shalom to the elect.